everybody. How many people in here are Pennsylvania Dutch? So we're going to take you, if you haven't already joined us in previous years, to an Oktoberfest. How many of you are willing to admit you've been to an Oktoberfest? That's the spirit today. So my husband said, will you be serving black and tans today at the Oktoberfest? And I said, yes, we'll be serving root beer and soft pretzels. We are so happy to have the crazy musicians with them. They are aptly titled with their name. They will take us on a tour through Europe. We will get to enjoy all the special German and other European countries that celebrate Oktoberfest. Keep an eye on this one right here. You're on fire today, all right. So welcome, sit back. Remember, audience participation is strongly encouraged. Please welcome the crazy musicians.
Well, good afternoon. Wie geht es bei Ihnen? Alles gut ist es. Es ist mir Nadel und die Liebe. Verstanden. Du Deutsche Leute. Weißt du, wann nicht Deutsch bist du nicht? Hier. Yeah. Anyway, today we're going to take you on a trip. Going to Munich to the Oktoberfest. There's only one problem we have right now. It's over. It ended the other week. So, but we're going to make believe that we're going to get on a jet and fly you into Munich, and we're going to be there for the beginning of the Oktoberfest. And what I'm going to do is try to explain to you, have any of you ever seen the parade leading into the Oktoberfest on the very first day? Okay? Well, let me explain it to you. It's a 4-mile-long parade with about 9,000 participants, and it lasts about 8 hours. And it's made up of horse-drawn carriages with hops hanging down and dragging on the street, marching bands, groups of people from different parts of Germany dressed in Tracht, which is what we're wearing right now. And they're marching on their way down to the Theresienwiesen. Now, do you know why it started? The Oktoberfest started as a wedding reception. Back in 1810, King Ludwig married Princess Teresa von Sachsenhausen. Now, how's that for a last name? I can't spell it. I don't know how she did. Anyway, they had their reception in Wiesen, and it went for 17 days. They had horse racing, and of course, partying and beer drinking. And it went so well that he decided to have it every year. So every year from 1810 right up till today, except for the war years and of course when COVID hit, they had the Oktoberfest in Munich. So what we're going to do is play a song that any one of the brass bands that you would have watched marching down to the Theresienwiesen. where they have the festival. And the festival is made up of 13 beer halls. Each beer hall will hold 5,000 people.
Now, you know, they might not know what a Wiesen is.
Oh, the Wiesen is the meadow. The Wiesen is the meadow, and that's the big area that is where the Oktoberfest is set up. And I do mean set up, because those 13 beer halls are made like the barns were built here back in the 1800s with the peg and dowel, because they take them down every year. They're covered with a canvas. So they store them away. Every year they bring them out, set them up again. And they, like I said, they hold 5,000 people. Plus there's a canopy on the side that will hold another 2,500. So when you add that all up with 13, that's 100,000 people. And the inside of the beer hall has narrow tables and chairs and a walkway on each side. You can walk through the beer hall, but you can't stop. If you stop, the guards will keep moving you along. No stopping. No walking around with the beer in your hand. The only way you can get a beer is if you're seated. So you've got to be able to find a seat. Now that's not easy, because the companies buy up all these seats. And you might see empty seats, and you think, I got it made, but somebody will chase you out of them pretty quick because they're paid for it. So it's hard to find a seat in a beer hall.
Well, you gotta remember, they also sell other things besides
Oh, yes,
beer.
they do. The chicken and
Radishes.
white radishes and beer.
Pretzels.
Oh, did I mention beer? Yes. And
A little bit.
soft pretzels,
Hey,
duck-
beer.
and beer. Right, I did mention that. Okay, and by the way, a liter of beer will cost you about $20. So if you're really thirsty, you better have a pocket full of money. So, and also there's a band in there, but there is no dance floor. So, what the bands do is they play songs that the audience can become part of. And we're going to play one now called Die Schneewalzer, and it's a Schunkel song. In other words, you sway back and forth with your neighbor, you link arms, and then there's a certain point in the song where there's a crescendo, and everybody either jumps up or raises their hands. So we go with Die Schneewalzer. Didn't you understand when I said when we get to the crescendo, everybody raises their arms up? We had 3 people that listened to me, yes. And then they're sitting over there. So we do it again. That's more. in the audience to get excited and drink more beer, eat more chicken, and put more salt on their white radishes. Because without salt, they're no good. Okay, there's other songs they do, and one of them is Die Hände zum Himmel. In other words, your hands up to heaven. And Norm here, he's gonna instruct you because he went to school to learn this. And there's more songs. One of them, maybe we can get some of the ladies to come up front and help you in one.
Okay.
With the
yeah.
Flieger League.
Oh, the Flieger League. Oh, okay.
Oh, we can do something else first. You know, I let me think about it here.
Okay.
We'll get to the Flieger League. But, you know, there was a song about, I thought it was 40 years ago. Norm's much older than me, reminded me that it's 50 years ago now.
Oh, yes. You're talking about the duck dance.
Yes. Enton Thompson. It started out as every year at the Oktoberfest, there's a song that catches. Every band that plays in every different beer hall will play it, and it becomes the song of the Oktoberfest. So now, a long time ago, it was the duck dance. And what happened is, it flew over the ocean to the U.S., and while it did, it turned into a chicken. So it became known as the chicken dance instead of the Enton Thompson. So here we go with the chicken dance. Okay, now we need some participation up front. Yeah?
That there's a chicken that flew the coop and she just snuck back.
Yeah, there's two over here in the corner. I think both of those should come up.
How many they want?
Now this is an easy one. It's called the Legally.
Let's give Megan a big hand because look who she got up here.
You could do some of it at the church.
It's called the Legally, and it's all in German. Do you understand German? You'll patch on.
You'll be
They lay down the glass and shouts in the middle of Hello, Peter! Und du bist So now we're going to do a song all about beer, and I think you all might know this song. Hey, we're gonna change the tempo now and play something called Living the Lane. Okay, it's such a beautiful day today, so we're going to play a song called So I'm Taught, which means what a day.
That's beautiful.
As today, yes. You know, the Germans like American songs too, and one of the songs that I'm sure you'll hear them play is the New Jersey Polka. You've never heard the New Jersey Polka? Well, you're going to hear it today. Norm knows it.
That should be our state song.
Now, you don't have to look.
It looks on.
Well, it may look on, but it ain't on. Anyway.
That's coming to it.
Anyhow, so, now that we played the New Jersey Polka, you're laughing now. I don't understand why.
He's been that way since he got whacked in the head.
I think we're going to play a song called Head Schmerz. In other words, heartaches. My heads is my heart. Schmerz means it hurts. So,
No, girls.
You started off, I'm not sure what key to play.
Catch my heartaches. Some of the other songs, you know, I said they like to do American songs. And one of the big people over there in Germany is, what's his name? You know what I mean, your buddy.
Oh, my buddy,
He's saying country.
oh,
John Denver. John Denver.
You didn't ask me, you see that?
No, I have to ask the smart guy in the band. He doesn't know nothing.
Well, when you only have one or two guys, it's easy to remember them.
Okay, so, they
Well,
like,
we're having as much fun up here as we hope you're having.
so anyway, we're gonna do one that, as soon as I can get it going.
It's up in New Jersey.
There we go. Country road, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, I'm gonna take me home. Country road, all the memories gather around her. Miners lady, strangers to water, dark and dusty, painted on the sky. Misty taste of moonshine, here lies in my heart. Country road, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Alabama, take me home. Country road, I hear her voice in the morning hours. She calls to me. The radio reminds me of my home far away. And I'm down the road, I can feel that I could have been home yesterday. Country road, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Alabama, take me home. Country road, take me home. Country road. Thank you.
Now, you know, there's another American song that they like to do, and he's alive.
He's alive?
Yeah,
Who would that be?
the one they play at all the Red Sox games.
I don't know, I'm not a Red Sox.
Oh, you're not a Red Sox fan.
Well, it seems like you're having a senior moment.
Yeah. Okay.
I told you he was the old man of the group. You know, we got a lot of expectancy here.
Come back to that.
Maybe later, you know, we'll come back maybe next year or something.
Caroline.
You want to do snow? We don't do that.
We don't do that.
No, Neil Diamond, no.
Well, he's still alive. They sing it all the time over there.
I know they do, but I'm not singing it today.
Oh, okay.
Been like this all the time.
Anyway, okay, I'll tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna do one called Bergamot Abundant.
Mountain climbers are lead translated.
we're gonna walk up the street, leave the Oktoberfest, and we're gonna go visit the most famous beer hall in Munich.
The Augustiner.
It's not the Augustiner, he
That's
said.
the largest.
It's the largest, but it is not the most famous. Anybody know what it is?
Hollander?
The Opera House. And there's a song written about the Opera House.
Oh, can they count in German? Can you go ein, zwei, super?
Drei.
Drive.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, super. It's a non-alcoholic beer. Oh, okay. I'll tell you what we're going to do now. We're going to get on the Ryson bus. In other words, the tour bus.
Well, did you hear about Larry's accident? I mean, they took away his
I
license.
took away his driver's license, bus driver's license.
Yeah, he's on a permit
He's
now.
on a permit. Oh, well, but you know we're going to be going on the Autobahn, and he's the bus driver. Yeah, I know. You know, you hope you all have insurance.
It'll be a neat trip.
Because this is his first time out since he had the accident.
Hope your wheels are ready.
So here we go with the,
I'll
Would you help me, all of you, please help me drive the bus, because I haven't steered this, it's no power steering, so it's a little rough.
yeah, you gotta help him steer the bus. You know, sometimes it's uphill, sometimes it's, oh, you don't know yet. you didn't hit anything, did you?
It's the same side I got the ticket on.
Yeah,
There's rabbits over here.
Rabbits? You mean Canadian?
No deer, just rabbits.
You know what Canadian are?
Yeah.
You know what Canadian are? They look like rabbits, but they're like small dogs. And they are actually a form of rabbit, but they call them Canadian.
I would have said that.
You can feed a whole family with one. Really? Anyhow, and when you take the fur off of them, you can make two sets of clothing. No, I'm kidding. You can, might be able to make 2 pairs of socks, that's it. Anyway, so now we're going on our ride, and we're going to stop in this little town called Kufstein. And we're going to visit with a girl by the name of Perla from Tirol. Kufstein, we just happened to be there at the right time because there's going to be a shooting contest. And this is for men only, no women, sorry, women are not allowed. Except for Liesel. Liesel was a very smart young girl. She dressed herself up like a man.
I thought that was a woman.
Yeah, he would.
What money that was a
He
woman.
would. Anyway, she dressed up as a man, went into the shooting contest, and she won.
Get out.
She became the Schützenkönig. So she was the shooter's queen. And if you listen, we're going to play this song. It was written all about her. And if you listen, you can hear her shoot the gun. Bergstein, I think I'd like to take all of you into the Kneipe. The Kneipe is a little bar that's down under the sidewalk, the lower level, and it's where all the neighbors go, all the friends, everybody knows everybody knows everybody else's business. It's just a place that everybody attends to have a relaxing beer.
Wait, time out. I think he's pulling our leg again. Remember we've all watched television for the last 10, 15 years? Remember the show Cheers? Whoever's Cheers? Down a couple of steps underneath, everybody knows everybody. Come on.
And right here's Norm. He lost a little weight though. Anyway.
Just a show call.
Yeah. Many years ago, I was on a tour, and we stopped in a town along the Rhine, and the bus driver said, "You want to go up the street and go to the Kneipe?" And I walked down the steps. As I did, I could hear all the noise from outside. Everybody was laughing and talking, and I walked through the door. The smoke was that thick you could have cut it in cubes and carried it out. And when that door opened up, they looked over and saw that I was a stranger in their bar. You could have heard a pin drop. Until I went over to the bar and ordered a beer. Now, I wasn't speaking German, I spoke Pennsylvania Dutch, but they understood it. And at that point, the bar came alive again. So it's just that kind of a place, a friendly place. So here we go, the Kleine Kneipe. He wants to do a song called Cradle Rice.
Nora,
Yes,
this is the last one.
yes, last one.
Thank you.
So anyway, I'm having a little trouble here. There we go.
Okay?
No. Yes, there we go.
Okay?
Okay, so we're gonna go to Salzburg, and because Salzburg is famous town for salt, and when you go through Salzburg, you hear songs being a particular song, and it's called Edelweiss. All right. Well, it was not a song from Austria or Germany. The song was written for the Sound of Music by Rodgers and Hammerstein, but they stole it, and they think it's their song.
They
So
stole
we're
it.
going to play it for you.
I won't play one they stole.